So we're coming up to the Trilha trail up to Cristo Redemptor. In a minute you'll be able to see Três Ranchos version of the Cristo Redemptor. This is the last hill before you get to the bottom. I'm going to have a go at seeing if I can get higher in the all-time fastest times. At the moment, Roger Washington holds the record, 7 minutes 49. I've done it in 11 minutes. I had another go and went much faster, I think, but I stood at the bottom for a while waiting to get my breath, and Strava included that time in my attempt, so I ran up there as fast as I could and didn't even beat my previous time. So this time I need to be a bit smarter, and I'll run down part of this hill that's coming up and then straight into the trail. There's a few things I have to watch out for. Snakes, obviously, but they usually are out when it's cooler, and also they tend to avoid people. But it's possible there's some snakes that will or won't get out of the way when they hear you. And I think there's a viper here that they call jararaca. It doesn't get out of the way, but there's quite a few snakes here that are very venomous, and there's quite a high likelihood of dying if you get bitten. And then the other thing is spiders. There's plenty of spider webs on this course. Sometimes they build the webs across the trail. So what I do on the first run up each day is I take a running pole with me and I'll wave it around in front of me as I'm going up the trail to try and avoid getting a face full of web, which has happened before. I haven't seen any big spiders here, but there are. There's web. I can see spider webs on the way up, and I'll maybe show them on the way down, that look like the funnel web spider webs, but hopefully won't bump into any of them. So this is the start here, and I'm going to go now. See, there's a spider web across the way. Get rid of it. Another one there. This first bit is quite shallow, but still gets the heart rate going. And then there's a slight down bit, and then the real climb starts. It's not possible for me to run up this bit. And I know you might be able to see the steepest part coming up there. At the end of that, there's a less steep bit that goes on for about 400 steps. So the trick, I think, to a fast time is to go at a decent pace on this hill, but with enough left to run the bit at the end. Heart rate wise, I'm in zone 3, maybe getting towards zone 4. I've got a choice here. I'm going to choose this bit just because there's more chances for spiders the other way. Other times, if I want to set a fast time, I'll go up the trail once and just clear it of webs, and I know that they'll be gone on the fast attempt. This is the steepest bit now. It's even harder because of all the loose stone. This is, I think, caused by all the rains. So on the way down, you get to learn which rocks, or you get to recognise rocks that won't move when you stand on them. Okay, it's getting to the end of the steepest bit. In all my previous attempts, I've got to the end of this and had to walk the rest. To beat my time after this bit, I'm going to have to run at least some. So here we go. I can feel the lactic in my legs not dissipating. It's hard enough on the heart, never mind when your legs don't want to work. I can't. It's too hard. if I can just keep up a good walking pace now, I should be able to get my record, maybe move into third on the all-time Strava. This bit is cruel because it's less steep, but there's a few false summits. I can feel the lactic in my legs again. I think I saw on one of the maybe on Strava, maybe something else, that it's 16% average. I think this is the end, but you have to go through the fence, get rid of the ants, and then run to this next fence. Oh, it's hard. The nice thing about this climb, using it for a speed attempt, is that it's too long to go zone 4 or 5 the whole way, I think, which means it involves strategy. So you have to choose which bits of the trail you run and walk, but that makes it a lot of fun. But I think the trick to getting the fastest time is that you have to run the whole of the bit at the end. It's less steep. The steps are, you just don't have the same kind of steps as you have the steeper bits. Heart rate's starting to calm down now, back into zone 2. It feels great having done it. I'm certain that'll beat my time. It should be really, really great. So here's the Cristo Redemptor. They're doing it up now. I don't know what for. You see it's pretty dilapidated. And the views up here are amazing. So this lake is Três Ranchos. It's man-made, and there's many people that build what they call chácara around the lake, so little places they can go to at the weekend. There's a little town about from here, about a mile if you go down the trail, a bit further if you go down the road. It's really beautiful here. You can swim in the lake as well. I'm put off by people telling me there are piranhas, and when the Brazilian people hear me say piranha, they laugh because it should be piranha, I think. But anyway, apparently they don't eat people if they're not hungry, and because the lake is well stocked, they tend to leave humans alone, but I don't know what tend means. Maybe that means you just lose a foot, maybe just for their dessert or something. So we're going to go back down the trail now. See if we can find some spider webs to show you. The ones that I moved out of the way are your traditional ones, kind of ones we see in the UK, but there's only like 1 or 2 strands going across the trail. I don't know how busy this trail is, and all the times I've been up here, I've not once seen anybody else. As you can imagine, it gets hot in Brazil, and people tend to stay out of the sun in the hottest part of the day. The people I've spoken to that say they do come up here come up at 5 o'clock. I can't get out of bed for that, but also I read that the snakes tend to come out between 5 and 7 when it's not so hot, so they can bask in the sun, and I don't fancy that at all. I'd rather run when it's hot. So this is back where we came from. There's where I think the trail end is there. So you'll notice that when I came through this gate towards the end of the trail, I hit the wire with my pole, because there's always huge ants on here, and usually, even though I've only hit it a few seconds before, you can see already they're back, and some of the ants here have nasty bites, so I get rid of them. So I always walk down the trail, just because the risk of snakes again, give them a chance to get out of the way. I might be being a bit dramatic about the snakes, but they have some here that have like a 50% mortality rate, and that's if you get the antidote. I have no idea how readily available they are here. There is a hospital in the little town here. Apparently they have rattlesnakes here as well. This kind of vegetation is called cerrado. Closer to the Atlantic, where Florianopolis is. I think they call it Atlantic Forest there. And then one time I did a trail similar to this there. I wish I'd filmed it. And it was of the time of season where the forest was pretty dense, and I tried to do a trail that was a bit off the beaten path, and kept running into huge spider webs. And so in the end I had to pick up a stick and wave it in front of me for the rest of the way. It was about 11 kilometres in all of going through spider webs, and with some of the webs you could see the spider was just sitting in the middle, big black and yellow things. People tell me that the bigger the spiders are, the less dangerous they are, but it doesn't make me feel any better. You have to be pretty careful coming down. There's just loose stones everywhere. I fall over at least once or twice on the way down. So it's a pretty shame that they don't seem to maintain the trail at all, or if they do, perhaps the weather doesn't help them very much. But if they cleared away the loose stone, it would be pretty cool. I mean, it is pretty cool anyway, but towards the top there, I didn't show you, there's actually another trail that goes. We're kind of on a tiny little mountain range here. We're about 800 metres up at the top. It's not a mountain range, it's like a hill. But there's trails that come off here at the top. But if there's plenty of spiders on here, I'm not going anywhere near that one. Yesterday when I was here, there was like an animal. It's kind of shape of a small dog or a cat, black, that shot across in front of me, and I didn't get a chance to see what it was. We kind of went into the bush. I have no idea what it was. I can't imagine it was a dog or a cat, just because we're too far away from houses. I mean, there's lots of stray dogs here, but I can't imagine they live up here. Okay, there's a decent spider web there. I can't see any spiders in it. There's a bit of a funnel going on here. Another one just here. Doesn't seem to be attracted by my sweat. Good. Christ. I must have been up and down this trail about 30 times in the last couple of weeks, so I'm starting to learn where the fixed rocks are I can rely on. But even still, it's just so easy to lose your footing. The stones are just continually moving downwards, I guess. That's the steepest bit done. We've got a bit of unstable stuff here. One more steep bit and then we're done. This is the worst bit coming up now. If you do come here and do this trail, know that on some maps, on all trails for example, it shows you there's two places to start, but they've blocked the other way. So just as you come over the cattle grid, so you have to turn left. That's the only way up now. And that's it.